Hey,
Hey, how's it
what's
going?
going on? Happy Friday.
Yeah, another good end of the week.
Uh, indeed. And a really cool kit to give away today.
Yeah,
You
got
brought that
that.
up with you, right?
Yeah, move some of this other stuff we'll show off, but yeah, the good old master grade unicorn.
Very
The
shiny.
yeah, it's got let's see if I can look at the. It's almost like got some kind of pearlish
Mm-hmm.
type colors on it, and I haven't built this myself, so.
Yeah. I think that was so when I was checking earlier, and I think if I remember correctly, it was originally an Expo exclusive kit, and then it was a P Bandai kit. I think it's the metallic gloss injected
Yeah.
version. So yeah, it's like
Yeah, I know we got a few of them because they didn't do any expos last year. So
there you go.
yeah,
Yeah, it is quite cool looking. A lot of the like metallic injection stuff, and especially like the pearl white, usually on a lot of kits, I don't really necessarily like it, but especially in unicorn mode, it looks really cool. Looking at pictures
yeah.
online.
I think for any of the special color ones, I like these better because
Mm.
you get the electroplated ones, and if they're not undergated,
Mm.
you got all these little marks all over
Ugh.
it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
especially on the unicorn. Yeah,
right.
Oof. Man, so many times tempted to buy the Phoenix because like there in Japan, you can find some like secondhand at stores for like $70 or something like that for a kit that's normally like 120 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's so tempting. And it's just like, no, I know that those nubs are terrible on that kit. Nothing's undergated. But anyway, so yes, very exciting. That's a cool kit. And a lot of you guys left comments to enter for that. So at the end of the show, we'll do that giveaway. But as always, we'll talk about some new stuff and then answer a bunch of you guys' questions first. So Adam, just to start off, what's new or what's coming in on the way?
Yeah. So first off, what's coming in? I know in the next like 2 to 4 weeks, we're getting in hundreds and hundreds of kits. I mean, me and you were talking about it a little while ago, Zach. I think we have our March container that's a little delayed because of the ports there in California. We're getting 43 different master grades are coming back in. Hundreds of high grade kits from Seed, UC, all the G Gundam high grades are coming back in that time frame. All the real grades are coming in. Some are on their way. Hopefully, we get some. I think we have an order of real grades coming in next week, but all of them should be back in within that 2 to 4 week period. So, yeah, it's definitely needed. We've been kind of not. I don't think any store here in the U.S. has really gotten a good restock in about probably 2 months, 2 to 3 months of real good restock. So, it'd be nice to finally have that. But we got some good Kotobukiya stuff in this week. Yeah, we've got the Black Ludens.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I got the white one, so I'm pretty excited to build this one and put them together. So we got that. I believe most pre-orders have been shipped out for that. So if you hadn't gotten an email or something, just let us know. We finally got the Stylette, the low visibility one in. I know this was delayed a little bit here in the States. We got
also very cool.
Yeah. The Wonder Woman, if I can pick up.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So that's in. I know I wasn't excited for this, but now actually having it, looking at it, I might decide to build it up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they always get you with that great box art, eh?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
It's like a Verka. Just the box art makes you want to build it.
Pretty much. And then we are pretty much every week now getting in, you call them third-party kits, but China-made kits. We'll never get like D-band Gundam kits or anything like that that infringe on IP, but we'll get things like this. So this is that cross base for the Evangelion kits. So we just got that in. So anyone that pre-ordered those are getting shipped out.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. And then we'll always get now weapon kits and stuff. So we just got this to turn your master grade red frame into a the dragon type.
Yeah.
So,
It's the cattle weapon.
Yeah.
Going here.
Yeah, so those just got in, and those are 4 different colors: black, blue, red, and white. So
Nice.
yeah. So we got a decent amount of new stuff in.
Mhm.
Not a lot of restocks, but like I said, a lot of those should be coming in soon. I'm sure a lot of other places are getting that word out there that stuff is finally coming. So
Yeah. Hey, speaking of like kids from China, the new Iron Man kit was announced. Is that up on the site yet or not?
Yep, yeah, that is up on the site. And then I've got part of those Metal Slug units are up. The rest of them should be up for pre-order today. But yeah, the new Iron Man that went up not yesterday or the day before yesterday. But yeah, pretty excited for that. It's pretty cool. I think the first
check that out.
Yeah, first 2 are pretty cool.
Check that out, guys. Yeah, and that's a good point about the Metal Slug kits. A bunch of people, after I reviewed that the other day, a lot of you guys were asking about that. So go check those out. Are you going to have those available as the full set? I saw there was a couple posted separately.
Yeah, probably separately. I think a lot of people, if they want to, because the full set, you'll actually get doubles of some things. From what I've been told. So if you pay for the full set, you'll actually get double of 2 different kits. So it'd be a little bit cheaper if you just buy them separately, if you want all of them, or maybe you might just want one to see how it is, and then get the other ones if you liked it. Same thing with like the Gundam Artifact stuff. You buy that full, or even Gundam Converge, you buy that full box, you're gonna get doubles. So a little cheaper just to buy them individually.
Okay. Well, there you go. Very cool. All right. A lot of this stuff coming in, especially a lot of the seed high grades and HGUC kits and stuff. And all good stuff. Let's check out some questions. Yeah, I was the same with that Wonder Woman kit too. I've not really been that interested in it, to be honest. I think it's cool that they're getting in to do like other properties and stuff, like in their own style. So I'm looking forward to them doing something else, but that one in particular, I'm just not that big a Wonder Woman fan.
No, the one thing I'm waiting for them, and we had talked about it a while ago, and they announced something or said something about the God Hands frame arm girl.
Oh yeah, the God Hand Architect.
And we weren't sure if they were actually making one or just showing off something. So it'd be cool if they did that.
Well, they had something about that. Where'd it go? I just had it around here somewhere. From it was like a publication in, I think it was the January Hobby Japan magazine that I reviewed not too long ago. They had like a All Japan Hobby Show kind of little mini magazine of like all the stuff from the All Japan Hobby Show, all the new stuff coming out. It was in there. So I think it's coming out, but there's still like not been like an official release announcement for that. Yeah, that's the Nipako, as Chris said. Yeah. The Nipako version Architect frame arms girl. Yeah. That looks cool. I mean, it's just like a recolor, basically. But I think there'll be a couple of new parts in there. It looks cool. All right, let's get to some questions here. Let's check out the YouTube community tab here first. Alvin said, will we be able to pre-order the kits coming out from April to July this year that are not available on the site as of now? Kits like the Hatsuho Spherical Striker Mugen. I think that's also a
Sakura Wars kit.
Sakura Wars, thank you. The 30-minute missions bike and etc. He listed a few other different ones.
Yeah, if it's not up there, we probably haven't put it up there yet. Eventually,
or you haven't got the info for it yet.
Yeah, one or the other. If it's stuff coming out in April, I would think we have the info now. I'll go back through and see anything that I missed and get it up. And if you guys don't see anything, you feel free to send us an email. Odds are I just probably missed putting it up, to be honest.
Yeah. Right, and that's something we usually have a question every time we have a question of a similar kind of answer, where if we don't have the info from Bandai yet, we can't put it on the site yet. So we know it's coming, but without a actual price and release date yet.
Yep.
All right, Joey asked, how hard has it been moving and staying fluid with today's world while still being able to maintain being an industry leader as well as a trendsetter? It's a hard one to ask. I have to read, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So just to rephrase, let me make sure I understood the question. How hard has it been basically just kind of keep going with what we've been doing in a nutshell? Okay. I mean, there's different challenges with different things. Things that have rocked different sectors and different businesses have kind of rocked us. Hard to get different supplies in, which I think everyone's seen. We've, especially the last 2 months, been really struggling to get Bandai hobby kits in. So that's been hard. You stop going to your normal people you go to like Bluefin and start kind of scrounging around to people or distributors that might charge more, that people don't know about, that might still have stuff in stock, setting up accounts with them, and then trying to buy as much as you can. Different things like that. As far as staying an industry leader, working with different companies, you're working with Bandai, working with we've gotten in contact with a lot of Chinese manufacturers. So I don't know if a lot of people have noticed lately, we've started carrying more third-party stuff, that metal frame for the Barbados, which actually just got shipped out to us. The weapons kits, I can't think of the name of the big kit that's been the
Death Stinger?
No, the Death Stinger. I mean, that's one too. Yeah. The Judge kit. Sure. So things like that. Trying to go out and get more of that's available to bring over for people to buy versus kind of relying and trying to push for stuff that's harder to get in now. So I don't know if that answered all the ticks on that question or not.
Yeah. I mean, it's just high demand for stuff, and if people are looking at the store and thinking that everything's out of stock, is because people are buying everything up. It's just nobody can get what everybody needs. But let's see. Phil's question, the next one here, he said, last time someone asked if you had listened to Richie Branson's Gundam rap, which neither of us had at the time. He said, but have you listened to Mecha God 2? And also, I don't know.
Nope.
Doesn't ring a bell for me. Sorry. Send me a link or something on Facebook. Tao said, there's been an uptick of shipping containers falling off boats lately. Has this affected any of your imports?
So we've never been told it has, but we were getting decent restocks up until December. And then January and February just kind of fell off the wayside. We haven't gotten anything. Normally we'll get, containers in or pallets that are equal a container or more. But then the news article, or it was all over Facebook, where the ship, I guess, hit a storm there in Hawaii, and then Bandai containers fell off. Ever since then, we haven't gotten anything. And that, I think, happened in January. So I don't know if there was stuff for the U.S. They said there was P Bandai stuff on there, if I remember correctly. But we haven't gotten regular stuff, or a lot of pre-orders have been delayed, stuff like that. So was there regular stuff on there too that was supposed to come to the United States? I don't know. They haven't told us. The only thing that I could find out was that there were P Bandai containers on there. So
shame. It's karma. Karma.
I'm just
for Bandai
glad.
making all the P Bandai kits.
Yeah. I'm glad we don't have to rely on the Suez Canal right now though, because that's crazy.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Suit and Spades asked, how often do the code Geass, I think that's the correct pronunciation, right? Code Geass.
I think so.
Get
that's how I say it.
Yeah.
Bandai usually once a year.
Oh, really?
Usually. I mean, last year we didn't really get a lot of stuff reprinted. But before the end of the world, they were getting printed probably about once a year, or maybe once every year and a half, something like that. We would get more in.
Yeah. So yeah, and even when they reproduce those, I can't imagine they produce that many because those kits are just I rarely ever see them. I don't want to say rare because rare makes it seem like they're I don't know like discontinued and like not ever made anymore. They're just very few and far between most of the time.
Yeah, like usually, and probably a lot of stores don't order a lot because they're not huge sellers.
Sure, sure.
And that's probably why they don't make them. But maybe once every year and a half. Because I know when we'll usually order 2 to 3 cases of each design, whereas like a Bandai kit will order 10 plus cases of each design. So yeah.
All right. Speaking of other non-Gundam stuff here, the next question here. I was wondering if there's any Machiningkrieger in the forecast. It seems like a lot of kits have not been run for a while. You already got the Dachshund kits in, right?
I believe so. Yeah, and then we got something.
The next one then I think would be the Kraken Vogel.
You know more about Machiningkrieger
than I don't know what's there yet, but I know the Kraken Vogel is pretty recently. I know just because of the time delay of what comes out here as to when it arrives there, probably should be arriving there pretty soon, I would imagine. There's the new version of the Luna Diver, but I'm sure that's probably not arrived there yet for a while.
Yeah, what's coming right now? I mean the Custer, but we've had that. That's just getting a restock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't have anything coming now or on its way as far as restock stuff. New stuff. Yeah, I'd have to look and see what we have on order.
The Kraken Vogel is a wave kit, so if you know of any like a wave shipment coming in anytime soon, possibly be with that, but don't know.
Yeah.
So that's that. I think usually you get more Hasagawa stuff than wave usually, right?
Yeah. We get Hasagawa is a lot easier to order from.
So then if to answer Duhas' question, then probably I would assume you'll probably be getting some of these. The Luna Diver Stingray is I think the most recent Hasagawa kit. The Moon Snowman version, kind of the reprint that's coming out with the Moon Snowman patch included with it. Very cool.
Hey, Josh.
I'm excited for that. I've got mine here. I really want to build by finishing the Dachshund first.
Yeah.
All right. Matthew said, any idea when you're getting a restock on the RG Crossbone Gundam? Well, you mentioned.
Yeah, that's yep. Hopefully in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Not hopefully, it is on there.
Hopefully closer to 2 weeks.
Right.
Then 4 weeks anyway. Yeah. Very soon. Definitely within the next month.
Yes.
Destin said, what Grunt Suits would you most like to see in a future master grade release? At the top of my list would be the Zaku 3 and the Asimar. Both
are good.
Interesting. I don't really like the Asimar.
No.
The Anksha would be cool. Kind of similar, the unicorn kind of later version of that.
Yeah, Asimar I think would be cool. I like that design. I what I would like really, they did a P Bandai power gym.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have that actually.
Based off of like the Gym 2 or the Gym Sniper.
Yeah. So that'd be kind of cool. It'll probably never happen, but
yeah. You're probably right. After making the P Bandai, if they wouldn't have made that P Bandai at the time, then I'd say it's more likely, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what else. I
would love to see a Zaku 2 F2 2.0.
2.0, yeah.
Yeah. Seems very simple and kind of don't know why they've not ever made that. But
yeah, they made a lot of other Zaku 2.0 variants.
I think like it's a Zaku 2, so you think the Zaku 2 2.0 frame, it should be really easy to adapt just new armor for that for the F2, but it's not. Looking at the parts, there would be a lot of the frame that they would have to change. Unfortunately, the design is different enough, like to accommodate the different armor pieces. I'm sure they'd have to change a lot of the frame, so it's not that simple.
No, gotcha.
Still,
Yeah.
Would really love that though.
I think a GM Custom 2.0 would be cool, but
Mm.
they have the 1.0 is not a horrible kit. But.
Yeah. There are a lot of really cool ones out there, but they're quite old, right?
Yeah.
So 2.0s of some of the old ones. Sorry, I mentioned this to Adam before the show, but all you guys, there's a fly buzzing around here, so that's why you keep seeing me doing like that. Sorry. Thomas in the chat there with a good point. The Master Grade Leo. Yeah, I don't know why they've still not made a Master Grade Leo based off of the Master Grade Tall Geese. That's kind of a head scratcher. But I can assume they're just saving that for a rainy day. They probably already got the designs for it somewhere already. Yeah. And just saving that for when they're like, well, we need to put something out.
So Matt in the chat there said a Pale Rider. I would like that. Is a Pale Rider considered a mass production?
It's still like a super grunt. It's kind of what I usually call stuff like that. Yeah, it's like a grunt, but
yeah, I love the Pale Rider design. I would love that.
Yeah. It's I like it well enough. I just built this the other day that I've not yet made my review for, but I'll show you the Toadsridder, which I think I'm mispronouncing. That's how it looks like it's spelled, but the Japanese is totally different. The Japanese is Toadsridder. There's no D in the Japanese pronunciation, but there's definitely a D in the English spelling. So I don't know. Someone can let me know the pronunciation on that ahead of the review, because I need to do that in the near future. But it's super cool. I mean, since you're talking about the Pale Rider, it's
right.
Similar, right?
Yep.
Really crazy unique. It sort of reminded me a lot of the Shinanju Stein, how it kind of mixes some Xeon and EFSF elements in the design. Definitely. So it reminded me of that a lot while I was building that. And it's such a weird design. So it's one of those, like, I always have this experience building like a new Advanced Zeta kit too, because like when you see the artwork of the Advanced Zeta designs, it's really cool, but it's kind of really hard to kind of wrap your head around the design because it's just a big mess of shapes.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with like the Toadsridder. I'd seen artwork of it before, but building it up was a chance to actually kind of really get a feel for what the design actually really looks like. So yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, you get to explore it more when you have hands on.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting because like I wonder when the designers of the kits how much liberties they have to take, because I mean, if there's there's a handful of artwork of the design out there, but they have to design like all like the areas that are never seen in the artwork,
Yeah.
So they must have to kind of guess what it looks like in those areas. Yeah,
and you never really think about that if there's no, for example, if you never show the back of the kit or back of the mobile suit, how do you? Yeah. So I guess they kind of get creative leeway maybe for some of that.
Yeah. All right. Mateus asks, so what can we expect when can we expect some news about the RG Hainu?
That's a good question. Don't know.
We also don't know.
I would assume we'll know this year, since they've already showed pictures of it saying that it should be coming out this year, I believe is what the whole point of that show was. Was that those are all kits that should be coming out this year or be fully announced price and stuff by this year. So I would assume probably sooner than later this year we'll know more about it. It's been, Bandai likes to do things what they announce usually have been announced and stuff every month, new stuff you kind of get told, but
seems like recently, and I don't know if this is to do with the pandemic or just like kind of a new way that they're operating, but it seems like they're holding a lot of their news just for around when like the expos are, like the Japan Hobby Show and Shizuoka Hobby Show, rather than just kind of releasing it kind of little by little. They just kind of like are preferring to do big dumps at the time when there's a certain show on. So Shizuoka is at the beginning of May, which is in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, like that. So probably at that time, I would assume we'll probably get a bunch of news.
Yeah, I would think so.
About like the second half of the year releases. This is Aloe. By the way. Or aloe drink. We don't have this in America, do we?
When you talk of aloe drink, I just think of the laxative drink you got to drink.
It's
So,
not that.
yeah.
I don't think so. As far as I know, people don't drink it for that. But
that's what I think of when you say drinking aloe. So I don't know. I don't think there's anything like that here. I'm sure at some health food store.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, there's probably something like that.
No, this is just from the convenience store. It's nothing like healthy about it at all. I mean, it's probably very unhealthy. It's probably very sugary.
Yeah.
Alex in the chat says, yeah, we do have that stuff. He says, so yeah, certain stores. Well, there you go. It's something I had certainly never had no experience with before I came to Korea. And I came here and like some of my students are like drinking. I'm like, what are you drinking? It's like aloe. Like, what? Isn't like you just put it on your burn or something?
Right.
Anyway, one of those weird things, but it's quite good. All right, Salt Lo-Fi said, will you ever make a Pisces Conversion Kit? Will we? Or I think he's just meaning like, will someone? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. If someone likes it enough and wants to invest the time.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think Henry made his, and then I don't remember. I'd have to go back and check, but I think he had like the molds for the parts that he recast for making his, or maybe he didn't. Maybe it was just completely scratch built. I think he had molds for like the Taurus parts that he made, but maybe not the Pisces. I don't know.
Is there a company, and I could be wrong. I remember like 2-3 years ago, there's a company that you could break, if you scratch built or made a kit, you could break it apart into pieces, send it out and tell them what pieces you wanted to do and make like a resin parts out of. And they would do that for you. I don't know if that company's still around. But that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm sure with the hookups we have in China now, we could have that kind of sorted out, but it may not be something that's easily available like for just kind of anyone to do. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I mean, if you had the means to do like resin recasting, it'd be a good business to offer that for people. I mean, it's something just like a side thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's not a kind of easily accessible kind of skill, something to do, I guess. Brian will, I'm sure, disagree. Be like, it's so easy. There in the chat. All right. Boom Cannon asked, let's see where we, okay. Boom Cannon asked, if you had to travel back in time and tell your past selves advice, how far would you travel back in time and what would your advice be? Let's just say hobby related.
Okay, hobby related. Time travel. I don't know. So as far as like hobby related, I mean, I could probably go back to the beginning and be like, you're going to get better. Don't worry. If that's hobby related, I guess, right. Because there's times where you get frustrated or, you're trying to do something you've never done before and you just, screw up what you're working on. It's just going back and be like, hey, just, take the time. You're going to get it eventually. You just need to take and practice because you're never going to be good right off the bat. It's always going to take practice. So the more you do, the better you'll get, and you'll kind of get to where you want, or you'll probably never get to where you want. You'll always want to learn new things. So but that would be, I guess, as far as hobby building. If he's asking question as far as like business wise, it'd probably be the same thing, because I guess the same thing as building. You're still building a model kit, you're building a company and a business. You're always going to have hurdles and bumps and different things are going to affect you, and not just giving up and throwing in the towel and saying, screw this, I'm done. I just lost, so much money doing this and made that mistake. Learning from that mistake so you don't do it again, I think is important for everything. So just going back in time and be like, hey, it's all going to be okay. You'll just keep pursuing it and you'll be happy.
Yes, I would agree with both of those points. I would also say I would go back and tell myself my high school, was it high school? Yeah, at least a teenager self, not to buy the PG Wing Gundam, because I didn't really actually enjoy it that much. It looked so cool, and I really wanted it for a long time, and I finally got it, and it was not that fun. That's what I'll do. Save my money for something else, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a couple more here from the YouTube community tab, then we'll switch over to a different platform. Zane said, do you think they should make a Calamity War anime?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Could be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be interesting because now we already have certain designs of the Barbados, and then other, like the Gujin has been, different designs. So you would have to retro those back down. So like, did the Barbados ever have a form before the one that we originally saw in the anime? Was there a dumber version of the Barbados? Yeah, so that would be interesting.
Doubt, right?
Yeah, so
sure.
But I think it would be cool. I liked IBO, so because I liked it, yes, I would like to see that.
And I think it would not necessarily be that similar to Iron Blood Orphans as far as like the series goes. I mean, it would take place in the same universe and like basically the same kind of Gundam. So we can assume probably like the action scenes would be sort of similar, but I mean like the story of like the characters and everything, I assume would be totally different. So it wouldn't necessarily be all that related.
Yeah. What was the mobile armor? I think it was called a mobile armor that he fought. It was on Mars. They found it and it accidentally got activated, or somebody activated.
Suddenly I'm drawing a blank on it.
Yeah. So there were supposed to be more of those, I guess, in the past, right? So things that they
right.
So there might be more, fights with things like that. I think.
Hashmal. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Matt.
Yes.
I kept thinking Hajiriboshi, and I was like, no, that's the totally different Gundam. Hashmal, started with an H. I knew that at least. Anyway, there you go. Yeah. All right. Let me see here. Let's see. Nick asked, when is the next big restock of master grades? As you said, those are all coming in. Is it me, or is Bandai releasing almost everything as P Bandai? Yes, temporarily. Let me find another good one here. What's the most inspiring quote you've been told or have discovered? Fizzed Cherry asked.
That's a really good question. Most inspiring quote. I think the problem with me with quotes is when you hear them or see them, you're like, oh yeah, that's good, and then the next day you never remember it.
Or you kind of just remember like the general idea.
Yeah.
You can paraphrase it.
Right. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, most of them are all kind of geared towards not giving up and failures. Not a what is it? Failure is
not an option.
Yeah, well, failure's not the end; it's part of the story, something like that.
Shoot, what's the guy's name? No, I'm drawing a blank. Kind of a pretty young kind of author guy he was like a businessman. Now he's an author. But anyway, he's written a couple of books about Stoicism. Actually, is how I came across him. But I know like a lot of people knew him because I think he had appeared on. Now I'm totally forgetting the other guy's name too. That other kind of douchey kind of guy that's on YouTube, who's like friends with Casey Neistat. So I can't remember his name. Anyway, his book is called "The Obstacle Is the Way." And let me search it.
Chris, never give up, never surrender.
That's a good one. Ryan Holiday, that's what it is.
Ryan,
I think from two of his books that I've read, neither of them I've finished, by the way. So I have two half-read books from him. I think he's a good author for like introducing people to Stoicism, because a lot of if you just like go directly to reading like the old books like from 2,000 years ago, it can be kind of like, how does this like relate to life? It can be kind of hard to make that connection, but having like a modern author talking about that, I think is a lot more accessible for people. So, I mean, the title of the book is kind of alludes to, I think, the good quote, "The obstacle is the way." Basically that you should see the difficult things in your life as the things that will lead you to growth, right? Anyway, so yeah, check it out if you guys are interested. Ryan Holiday. What's the other name of the guy I'm trying to think of now? Because I want to call him out, but anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, let's go to Instagram. Let's see. Yes, continue. All right, hang on, bear with me a minute. Here we are. What's on the docket this year for shows or competitions, web or in person? Well, we have the current contest going on now, Clean versus Weather.
Yep.
And anything else on the way?
As far as contests?
Or shows, competitions?
Competitions.
Anything that comes to mind? If not, then...
No. The Mecha Modelers Expo might come to fruition.
Still up in the air.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
Bandai still hasn't announced anything related to GVWC.
No.
So I guess we can assume that that's also not happening this year.
Probably not. I would assume by now, if it was going to be a thing this year, it would be already talked about. So
yeah.
It's interesting. I talked to Bluefin about that actually last week. I was like, hey, what's going on with you? And they're like, we haven't heard anything. So yeah. Man,
Bandai, I don't know. Somebody is just banging their head against the desk.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do, man? But yeah, I would say that's probably the same for kind of everything. At least for like anything in person. Probably most stuff this year is up in the air. I know Japan's trying to. They keep having all their events, like actually in-person events. I don't think it's a very good idea, but they keep doing it. As far as I know, like Shizuoka is supposed to be on too as like a in-person event. But okay. Anyway.
I know we'll have future contests. I don't know if we'll just hold those for later, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Of course. Yeah, we've had a couple of ideas that we talked about for like the next contest, and I'm always kind of bouncing ideas off Adam and stuff. Or Adam, you asked me about another idea too recently for a future contest. So, I mean, it'd be great to just have contests going all the time because it's fun to get people excited and building. So, I haven't done a photo contest in a while, so I want to do a fun photography contest because that's really fun too. For if there's no requirements for like painting and customizing and stuff, it's something that just kind of everyone can enjoy joining in. If kind of the main focus is just your photography.
Yep.
So those are always fun too. All right, let's see. I'm Patrick. Asks, what's your favorite P Bandai kit?
That's a good question. My favorite. I liked the GM Dominance. Maybe because that kind of goes a little bit into the Pale Rider design a little bit, but I think that was a really good kit. So I like that. Both versions of that I thought were really good.
Yeah, I was gonna mention the Stormbringer, and I was just thinking like I really like the Stormbringer design in the Gym Dominance, but like I don't know, the kit's super cool, but I think like the reason why it's so cool for me is that it's almost like it's like having your own Naoki kit.
Yeah.
And like being a fan of Naoki's work, that's kind of the only reason why the kit it looks so cool. But it's also, I mean, just like as a kid, it's a little bit boring just because it doesn't really necessarily do a lot. It looks great. It looks fantastic. But it doesn't have a lot in the way of like gimmicks and things like that. So it's kind of more exciting.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, the spider ball is pretty good. Polypod ball. That's cool. Try to think of maybe the Masquerade Powered GM. I mean, the kit is not the greatest kit ever. Just to have a Masquerade in that. I think didn't they use the old Mark II?
Was it the old Gym? That or the Gym Custom?
It was the Gym Custom. Yeah. Maybe it was the Gym Custom. But yeah.
Chris.
But
Sorry,
no, I
Chris.
think I would just go with the dominance. I mean, other kits are good. You have like your recolors and your clear color kits, and your a kit that I really want to make is a full mechanical clear Sanandra Stein. That one I think would be cool. I like the clear, the mechanical clear kits. I like a lot. So that'd be kind of cool. But those are usually Expo releases versus P Bandai releases, or was it Hobby or not Hobby? Gundam Base exclusives.
Right. Yeah. Also, I mean, any of the Advanced Zeta stuff is all great because I mean that's always fun. Also, one that I really like and that just always comes to mind anytime someone asks this question is the HG Ifrit Noct. Such a cool kit.
Yeah.
Any of the HG Ifrits are all really cool, but the Ifrit Noct especially is just a really cool kit.
Yep.
Yeah, really like that one a lot. Let's see. Action Xander said, "Will you ever get the HG Atlas?" Someone else earlier too was asking about the Atlas. So do you know if that's coming in the restock?
It is not in the next two containers that I saw.
Oh, man.
The Master Grade Full Armor Thunderbolt and the Psycho Zaku are in there, but as far as high grade from Thunderbolt, I don't think there's any high grade Thunderbolt stuff in those.
I thought you were about to drop a Master Grade Atlas announcement.
No. You'd be like, no.
They don't have any delay on the stream, so don't let anything slip out.
All right, and we don't know if that's even coming or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be cool though. I think it's the design that it's just based on the design. It would be so much better as a Master Grade than a high grade. I think.
Yeah.
The high grade like fine, but super sticker heavy and it's like has a lot of little color apps and things that would be much better off recreating that as a Master Grade.
Yeah. No,
fingers crossed, maybe someday. That's another one. I don't really like the design that much, but it would make for a cool Master Grade kit.
Yeah. I don't like the surfing aspect of it or whatever. It's a little
weird. Very weird. All right. Let's see. Any thoughts on the Gundam Build Real PV? I don't know what that is.
It's the I just saw a quick like Facebook article on it. Isn't that's like the Japan's doing a show or something where it's like real life build divers or something like that. I didn't really get too much into it to really know exactly what's at. I know that they showed two new real grade kits that they're supposed to come out with for it. But I don't know if they're like P Bandai Kit, and there's not a lot of information out there about this show or movie. I don't know exactly what it is. I just know it's supposed to be a live action like Gundam Build Fighters type thing.
Yeah, I've not seen anything about it, so I guess I must have missed that. Sorry. Al Facino said, "Can you rank all versions of the Unicorn Gunpla out there from worst to best?" Maybe not do a full ranking, but maybe talk about a couple of the worst and a couple of the best ones. What do you think?
Just the actual Unicorn Gundam, right?
Let's include variants. Why not?
Okay, all right. We're not like thinking about like high grade like Zaku's from Unicorn. We're just thinking more Unicorn style kits. So
I'm guessing he means like Unicorn, Banshee, Phoenix.
Yeah. All right. So I haven't built a lot of Unicorn type stuff.
What?
Yeah.
I must be the only one.
Yeah, I mean, and they release a Unicorn every other week, so
I know.
I built the real grade one, which I thought was pretty good. Obviously, I think I built the two high grade variants of the full armor, the red one, and then I built the full armor unicorn mode. So I built both those, and I like the real grade a little bit better. And then I haven't built any of the mass. No, I built I built the Fenix. Fenix I liked. I didn't like all the marks that are left over because a lot of that kit was not. Yeah. I haven't built any Banshees, believe it or not.
Really?
Yep. And then I started working on the perfect grade unicorn, and never finished it. So
it's a long build. Yeah.
Yeah,
Takes a while.
I did not like the perfect grade at all.
Mm.
It just, I did not like it. But,
Yeah, I would say, I mean, this is probably actually one easy way that you could answer this is just based on the release date.
yeah.
From worst to best, because honestly, probably the MGX is probably the best, but it's also kind of the most expensive. So I mean, there's kind of that caveat there. But before the MGX, you have, I think it would have either been the mega size or the real grade. Either of those are also really fantastic. I love the mega size. Obviously, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It doesn't transform or anything, but it's awesome. It's a really super fun build. In the real grade, yeah, like I said, it's also a really good thing. Probably overall the best bang for your buck, like just Unicorn Kit is probably the real grade. Transforms. It's got a lot of detail. It's very solid. The proportions, everything are mostly pretty good. The legs are a little bit chunkier on that version of it compared to others, for my personal taste. But that said, the worst ones on the spectrum, the original MG Verka and the HG are not that bad. They have some flaws, but depending on what you want it to do, or I mean, if you just want it to stand there and look cool, I think the original MG Verka still looks great. It's a great looking kit if you don't really care about it doing that much. If you just want it to just stand there, it looks cool. And the same thing with the HG as well too. The HG is really nicely proportioned and everything. It has a couple of weak points, but if you don't mind that, and it doesn't transform. But there's not really any version of the Unicorn Kit, in my opinion, that's that bad. There's pros and cons to all of them.
It's interesting because I think the Unicorn and the RX-78 both have. You're able to talk about chronological releasing. You can see kind of Bandai's technology improving through each one of those just because they release so many of them throughout the time that Bandai's been kind of from Unicorn being released and obviously since Gundam. So those are two interesting kits to kind of see the progression with each new kit they come out with, which is kind of cool.
It's kind of like timeline markers of Bandai's progression over the years. Yeah. All right. Steam Mobile Suit said, what's the thing that inspires you to keep building and keep your love of Mobile Suit going?
So that's actually two answers to that, and I'll explain why. So for me to keep building, I enjoy it. It kind of takes my mind away from everything. I love what I do working wise, but there's days where I get stressed out or days at home where I get stressed out, and being able just to kind of step away and either build by myself is refreshing, or even building with my kids is refreshing too. Being able to teach them and show them how to build stuff, and sometimes it can be aggravating.
Depends on the age of your kids. I mean, like, but I haven't done that much yet, but
no, when your kids are old, I've got an older daughter who's 12, and then I've got a younger one who's 2.5. So, it's when they're older, it's a little bit easier, but it's so things like that. So as far as building, that's kind of what keeps me into it. It's something to do with my family, and it's also something that I can do by myself. As far as business wise, why do I stay in it? Honestly, going on Facebook, going on social media, getting emails from you guys saying how much you appreciate us carrying the stuff, just pictures of you guys' builds, and then seeing our sticker in the background, like, oh cool, man, he got that from us, or something like that. But seeing you guys being excited and happy to get kits and build kits, and seeing that it's bringing all of our customers joy and other people joy and fun, and working together and coming together as much as you can now, is what makes me happy to do what I do, business wise. So those are kind of the two answers, I guess, to that question for me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that really at first, but now that you're talking about that, I mean, I kind of have a similar thing where like the feedback you get from other people is really kind of inspiring and motivating. Of course, there's like you're gonna have to question how much of it is like this our modern need for online acceptance, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
you want people to be talking about you or like that. You want people to like you online. I guess there's probably a little bit of that, I'm sure, but like it is inspiring in a way. But I don't really think I've ever grasped it. Like for me, it's like hearing from people online and like messages and comments and stuff saying like, "Oh, I discovered Gunpla by finding your channel," or like I got into Gunpla because of your videos and stuff like that. I hear that every now and then, and it's just really weird to comprehend. I don't really think about that. I mean, like I'm just doing my thing and sharing it with people, but it's kind of weird to imagine how someone just like got into this hobby because seeing my videos and stuff. I can't really wrap my head around it, but
yeah, it's I don't know. For me, like when I said, for example, like if the person that found Gunpla through you, say they now have spent countless hours building and enjoying that, well, they have now been able to have those countless hours of enjoyment because of your videos. So it's yeah, it's a cool thing to think about. But I mean that's why I enjoy it. It's someone that orders something from us now, if they decide to build the kit and not put it in their backlog, they're going to get at least an hour or plus of something fun. Either they're with their friends doing it or by themselves doing it, and it's cool to see when they post the pictures like, oh, this is what I did. Thank you, USA Gundam Store. Like, oh yeah, no, thank you. I mean, you guys are why we're here, but that's
it definitely is great to see that. I mean, even when I see people posting that on Facebook for the store and things like that, happy about their shopping experience, things like that. That's very cool. And it's the same kind of thing, just for people commenting on my videos. I really like the video. It's kind of like a meaningless comment a little bit, to be honest, saying like, hey, great video, I really liked it. It's like, okay, but it's still, I mean, everybody likes to hear that. You want to hear that people are enjoying what you're making. So even though it's not like a lot of substance to the comment, it's still nice for people to share that. So I always like that. I always like reading that, of course.
And I always took, like, if someone makes a comment like that, for me, if they just watch the video and we're like, okay, that was a cool video, most times people won't put anything. But if they really enjoy the video, I think maybe that's, but they might just not know what to say. So it's quick and simple. But
I think you're right. It's a big jump in effort from just watching the video and enjoying it and then actually taking the time to comment. It seems like a small thing and it seems like nothing, but no, most people don't comment anything at all, right? So you're right. It just should be taken seriously. That's a good sign. All right. Let's see. A couple more here from Instagram, and then we'll switch over to Facebook. Nazar said, are we going to be able to buy USA Gundam Store stickers available individually or create our own sticker packs at some point?
Create your own sticker pack is a good idea. I think that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure we can figure out how to do that. Individually, probably not. It will probably always be the packs, but I like the idea of creating your own pack. I think that's pretty cool.
Because a certain aspect of the whole sticker thing is the kind of exclusivity of them, right? Being only available per month, right? That's kind of the thing. So if they're just kind of available all the time, then they're not quite as special.
Yeah, right.
Sort of like a collector thing, like P Bandai, sort of.
Yeah.
All right. Colgate Clickbait, fun name. So what's an anticipated HG of this year that y'all look forward to getting?
Which line? HG, you said? HG?
Nightingale for me.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the most for me as far as HG. I think that's going to be a pretty cool kit.
Yeah, I think so. We only really know of a couple, right? There's the Death Scythe, the Nightingale, the Cassie. That's kind of about it, I think, right?
Yeah, and we might be missing one. But
sure.
there wasn't a lot. Yeah,
Let's see. Let's see a good one here. Have you? The Master Chief asked, "Have you ever get like quitting the hobby?" I think he means like, "Have you ever thought about quitting the hobby?"
Me, no. I don't think I've ever thought about, okay, I'm done doing this.
Yeah, same for me. I don't think I've ever, even for hobbies that I have stopped doing, I've never had that thought like I'm quitting this hobby. You know what I mean? I just stopped doing it, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't still enjoy to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever crossed my mind.
But I've seen people around online, people that have said like I'm quitting the hobby, and people that have actually like sold all their stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing that I think I would ever do. But I mean, I've seen people do it, so yeah, no, that's why we're here, I guess. All right, let's switch over then to Facebook. Take some questions here before we get to the giveaway fun.
Yeah, Terry said the high grade Grimoire. I don't know why I didn't remember that one.
Yes. Well, it does look cool, I will say that, but I can understand why we may have forgotten about it, because it's IBO,
right?
It's not quite as unique, I suppose. All right. Bobby asked, so when can we expect an update on the plans for Gundam Con, the Mecha Expo, as we talked about that? So not sure yet.
Yeah, there's still certain things right now that would hinder us doing it fully. Most of it is like capacity rules. So trying to figure out what that would be like in August, September when we would do it. So, which we have to figure that out soon if we're going to actually do it or not. So I'm trying to work with the convention center, but it's not. I mean, they won't know really either, honestly.
Yeah, right. It's kind of very hard to plan anything in the current situation. Yeah. Carlos asked, I know y'all get some P Bandai stuff for the storefront. Are you getting any of the Mercurius and V8 set?
Yes.
Yep. Cool. Rachel said, not really a question, but thank you for all you guys do. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are so nice and genuinely care about your customers. We understand that things are a little rough in terms of getting kits in, but we know that they're coming to do the good work. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, thank you.
Josh said, I was wondering about the Sujibori restock of the BMC panel liners. Any info on those? I know exports from Japan have been crazy for some time now.
Yeah, I know me and you have talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it on a stream or not. So
I don't think so.
Yeah, I reached out because we've had an order. It's funny. I put in an order with them last January, not last January, but 2020 January. And then, things happened where it got delayed. And then I sent them an email. What was it, like last month or 2 months ago?
Last month, or at least when we talked about it.
Okay. So yeah, it was last month then. And asked them, hey, what's going on? Is this stuff coming out soon? Or is everyone over there okay? Just kind of like a check-in email. And then they said that right now they are not manufacturing them. It was weird because I know I sent you the actual line, like the actual thing. And it was something along the lines of, I don't know. Let me see if I can find it pretty quickly before I misquote.
I think it was right. They were having trouble basically with the supplies they need, basically with the production process. It's just like what they needed was not available. So what I took away from that, it seems like they're just not producing anything for now, but doesn't mean that maybe they won't again someday later. It's just for now, basically they're closed.
Yeah, I can't find the email because it was something like production, no time, or something like that is kind of how it was phrased a little bit. But yeah, so not anytime soon will we be getting anything from Sujibori. Yeah.
The other part of his question, then he asked if it is possible to get any of the Gaia Notes Eva series paints.
Yeah. International purchase. Yeah. So the company that brings in Gaia notes here into the States, they cannot bring it due to licensing issues, apparently. And that goes along the lines with a lot of the Gaia notes, like the Frame Arm Girls colors, the Ava colors, there's
Dagram,
Votom,
Virtualon,
virtual,
Photon,
like all those cool colors that we want.
right.
Yeah, they I don't even know if they're even trying to get it to where they're allowed to bring it in. I think they just said, screw it, we'll just bring the regular base colors and not worry about it. But I have no idea, honestly. The easiest, best way I can tell you, there's a website that I used. I'll post it on the bottom of this. Once this gets put up, I can post it. I want to say it's 3train something, but it's probably wrong. So I'll get the actual website and I can put it there. As far as for me, when I buy Gaia notes from overseas, kind of those other colors, they're the cheapest that I found. So I'll get that link on there. Yeah.
And just real quick, I want to take Jay's question here in the chat because it's one that I don't think we've ever had any questions about this. So it's kind of interesting. He's asking about the Motoroid obsolete kits from Good Smile. And he said he enjoyed the website anyway, wanting to know about those. There's recently been a few of the new ones coming out. So do you know if those are coming in anytime soon? Or if you still have any of like the first couple ones that came out still in or not?
So the first ones, I think we sold out. We have still in stock. I'm looking now. There's the gray, the Exo frame. That is
just the basic frame one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in stock. But there was ones before that, if I remember correctly.
Right. Yeah. There. 2 or 3.
Yeah, and then we're getting in the armored Exo frames. So they have the Exo frame that doesn't have the armor on it, and then they have the armored ones, which those I think are the next ones coming in.
Okay.
And I don't remember there being a reprint for the older ones, and I don't think there's any other ones coming. There's a submersible one, I think, coming too.
So I'm kidding out. So I just built this last week.
Nice.
The submersible one, the C one, just to show.
The submersible one and the armored Exo frames, I think, are the next ones that we'll be getting in. But I don't remember if they've had any since then. Yeah.
He's a little guy with the flippers.
Yep.
Yeah. They're quite small, but really fun kits. So, I mean, for the size, I think a lot of people's reaction would be, oh, they're really expensive for the size because they're not that cheap. Yeah, because they're from Good Smile. But, I mean, they're cool little designs. And definitely, if you're a fan of the anime, check it out. They're really nicely detailed. So especially if you like working on minis and things like that, for those people, I think they would really enjoy working on these kits. Or like if like you have some experience working with like 1/35th scale Machiningkrieger kits or something, because these are also 1/35th scale. So yeah, they're not that big, but yeah, they're pretty cool. I'd recommend that. So yeah, I would assume this one probably is the one that's on the way too, and then the this other one, the one that comes with the big old cannon. That one.
Yeah, that should be on its way.
And this thing, which I thought was a shield. But apparently, according to this, it says it's like a radar unit thing. So apparently that's some kind of radar thing. Looks like a shield.
Yeah, he's ducking behind it and everything.
Yeah. Right? I don't know. So, fair enough. But yeah, cool kits. So I was happy to see someone asking about those.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Does Bandai plan on releasing the HG Future Century Master Gundam and Funsaiki? Oh, HG, yeah, the HG Master Gundam and Funsaiki. I think you said those were in the reprints, right?
Yep, yeah, those are coming.
Cool. So you said all the HG G Gundam stuff.
Yeah, I think everything was on there except the Berserker mode, the bell.
Okay,
but everything else was on there, getting brought back in.
Matt wants to know, what do you think of the live action Gundam movie and series plans? Is there plans for like a live action series as well too? Maybe
I
that's
don't.
the thing he was talking
Yeah,
about before.
maybe.
So,
As far as the movie, yeah, I mean, I'm cautiously excited. There we go. That's probably the best way to say it.
yeah, the other part of his question, he said, do you think it will actually affect interest in Gunpla in the US? Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I don't see
At the
why it
very
wouldn't.
least.
Yeah, there's the plans that they have. I know for like toys and stuff like that. You'll start seeing more toy-esque things, I'm sure, in like Walmarts and Targets that are here. I don't know how much model kits will actually go in to stores. I'm sure that they'll have a limited amount of SKUs. Like I'm sure Walmart will have like 4 or 5 kits, just like Target will.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be more toy based, like heavily, as far as the movie goes, from what my knowledge is so far.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how good or bad the movie is, certainly at least it will kind of get some more people turned on to Gundam anyway.
Yeah.
Daniel asked, is there a way we could see items that are on order for the upcoming month's releases, or is that handled by pre-orders?
Yeah, I'm actually working on putting up a for like our blog on there. You'll be able to kind of click on incoming shipments. The date will probably just be the month that we're getting all that stuff in. Yeah, because anytime you put up an exact date, it will never stay that date. Yeah, I mean, so even when you're expecting something to get delivered by a date, it never is that date usually. So yeah,
you run into trouble.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, that'll be cool for people to be able to see that. At least for what's being printed by Bandai, you can still check that like on the Bandai website, right?
Yes,
it's just like by month, so you can't see like too far into the future, but at least to see like what's currently being reprinted at least.
Yeah, I think they put out as far as what we have ordered. So we usually order a few months in advance, and I think it's that up to whatever we had ordered from on their site.
Okay. And also kind of interesting one here. Jeff wants to know when we will have more PGs and Mega Size Gundams in stock, and why are there so few Mega Size Gundams in the market to date? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
I love those Mega Size kits.
As far as there's the perfect grade, Exia and Unicorn are in the shipments that we're getting here by the end of April. I didn't see any Mega Size stuff, so. I'll go back through it. Maybe I just missed it, but I don't remember seeing any Mega Size kits. And then the reason why there's not so many, I don't know the answer to that.
I imagine that. I think we talked about this. I think fairly recently. I just think they probably just don't sell that well.
Yeah, they might not. I mean,
very big, so people don't have the space for it. Very expensive. They don't really do a whole lot. It's basically like a gigantic, like very simple high grade. So I mean, I understand why they maybe don't have as much appeal, but they're really fun, I think. But yeah, very detailed at the very least. So I think that's one thing. People usually just say immediately like it's just a giant HG, but way more detail. It's like a giant HG with the detail of an RG without the part separation, just with the detail there. All right. With how popular your organization is becoming, do you think you will expand throughout the U.S. with storefronts, or will you remain one warehouse with online dominance? Walter said.
Probably just stay one warehouse, to be honest with you. Right now, there's no plans to open up stores across the U.S. So, yeah.
That makes sense. Garrett asks, now that we're into the pandemic and new interest in Gunpla has grown, do you think Bandai will change anything in how they produce and market kits?
Their production has changed for sure. Usually they would find out every 3 months. They'd give us a list and we'd order out 3 months in advance, and then they would figure out what they're doing and get all their supplies to make the kits at that time. I know when we talked to Bandai a few months ago, June or July, we should be getting December's list. So they're pushing it further and further out, so they have more time to gather the materials. They also just opened up the new factory, or the extension of the factory, which helped them go, I think it was like 200 and something % increase in production, which is still actually not even caught up to the demand that is needed.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely changed as far as manufacturing goes and as far as we order. As far as marketing, probably not. I would assume the marketing still would stay the same as it
small strides, I would think.
Yeah,
it's a pretty large Japanese company, so it's they're not going to change anything too major overnight.
Right.
They'll have people working on it, I'm sure, just to make some small changes. Probably, I would assume you see them wanting to collaborate more with different creators and stuff, possibly. But they don't even do that in Japan, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
so,
we'll see.
Who knows? We will. But all right. Well, if any of you guys have any questions live, I want to take some of your guys' live questions here before we get to the giveaway for today. Mike asked, any idea when the MG XSS Gundam will be restocked?
I think that was on that list. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was on that list that I was looking over.
For one's coming out, the 1.5 version of that.
By April, we should have them back in stock.
And John said, due to the quarantine, would you say that you have seen a spike in Gunpla?
Yes. Massive.
Yes, definitely.
Which is interesting. I was talking to someone the other day. Most industries have had a spike. The industries that haven't had that probably took the most brunt here in the US anyways are like restaurants or entertainment type businesses, things that you go on vacation for, I think have taken the most hit. So in turn, now you're not going out to eat as much. Now you got more money, and then online retailers, kind of regardless of what you sell, have probably gotten a bump up on purchases last year and into this year. I know for us, people sitting at home, they need their kids to do stuff, things like that. Model kit building's an easy way to get your mind off of stuff and take a decent amount of time to finish something. So.
Here, Ramiro had a good question, a simple one here. Is the Tamotu kit in stock there? It's very hard to find. You said you recently got a bunch of Kotobukiya stuff. Was that also in there as well?
I don't know. That was not in there.
So you've not gotten any stock of that yet, right?
Not yet. We're supposed to. I don't know. I think some stores already got them here in the States. So I'm assuming probably our next invoice from Kotobukiya, they'll be on there.
Hopefully.
So we'll see. Yeah, I know that the black and the white one are supposed to be to us any day. And then was there an orange one?
Yeah, orange and blue ones I think are supposed to be out in April. So.
Right. And they're reprinted the white and black one for that shipment as well. So yeah. Yeah,
that's one that I would really like to do a contest based around that. I think would be super fun. Did you catch any of the last episode I did with Josh, Plamono Trend? That was our theme.
I did maybe like the first 10-15 minutes. Yeah.
There was a lot of really cool ones there.
Yeah.
So maybe even more excited about wanting to do a contest with that kit. So, but it just depends. I think, I don't know how many people are actually really going to be buying the kit is the thing. If it really ends up being that popular, selling a lot, because if only a few dozen people are buying the kit, you can't really have a contest. But that would be fun.
Yeah.
Chris asks, what do you guys think of Gun Primer's partnership with certain builders to create themed tools? Is this something you guys would be interested in?
So we have our own theme tool from them.
USA Gundam Store.
Maybe he's talking about USA Gundam tool, like tools from USA Gundam that are partnered with partners.
Oh no, I think he means like with USA Gundam Store partnering with Gun Primer, making like USA Gundam Store branded Gun Primer products. I think is what he's talking about. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, because we have that now. The Razor 2, which is usually, I think that's the only thing they partner with. is that tool.
Right.
Yeah, so we have a USA Gundam one of those. I think it's a smart business idea from them. They sponsor different, YouTubers and stuff like that. And, why not? It doesn't cost that much depending on what that person wants to. I'm sure it's like us. That creator probably has to buy that stuff. And then I don't know if they're making them sell it themselves or if you're able to go to the Gun Primer's site and order it. I don't know how they're doing. I know we had, obviously bought it and brought it over here, and then we sell it ours. But no, I mean it's a smart idea. I mean you're working and partnering with individuals and other people that obviously are into the hobby, and then any business that works with partnerships usually does better than businesses that don't. So
I think it's kind of interesting why you don't see more Japanese companies. So like paint companies or something like that sponsoring different content creators and things. And I mean, I guess it's just kind of that's not the way things have been done there, because these companies have all, like Mr. Hobby and even Guy Notes, they've been around for long enough, and I think like it's just that's not how it was done in the past, and they're just not really caught up to figuring out that like that's good promotion for them now to do that kind of stuff, and it doesn't really cost them hardly anything. Maybe they'll figure it out. But yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a good idea for Gun Primer to do that. I know like Display also sends out a lot of products to different creators and things. I don't think they've done any, as far as I know, like branded stuff for anyone in particular, but it's kind of similar. All right, let me see here. Josh had a question. He says, Zach, do you have plans to review the new 30-Minute Sisters? I'm sure I'll probably check it out a little bit, but based on what we've seen of it so far, they don't really look that interesting. I have a hard enough time keeping up with the Kotobukiya products, which I enjoy a lot more and I think look a lot better. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure I'll check it out, but I probably won't review like every single thing coming out from 30-Minute Sisters, I would imagine.
No.
Can't keep up with that. Let's see, Hunter's at any word of a new Ep.19 kit deserves at least an RG.
No word. I know we're getting the Master Grade. Master Grade might be in stock today or Monday.
It always kind of surprises me, or when I see people wanting something in the RG line, because I see it a lot. People always saying this kit needs an RG or this needs an RG, but it just seems so weird because like the RG line is very limited. They've only done 40 RG kits, so like I can understand people wanting like an HG of something because Bandai makes HGs all the time. So it's not that much of a stretch to think that they would make a new HG of something, even if it's kind of obscure. But for RG, it's like even more, like they only make a couple a year. They just aren't. They're not gonna ever be making that many that we can just call out this needs an RG or whatever. So it's kind of sounds funny when I hear that, but anyway, all right, let's do our giveaway. Oh, and let's see. Buck asked if I'll be reviewing the TR1 Hazenclay Raw 2. Yes, certainly. All right. Let me put this up on the screen for us. Share screen. Here we go. All right, so we'll set this to first choose whether it'll be, if it's a 1, it'll be from Facebook. If it's a 2, it'll be from Instagram. If it's a 3, it'll be from the YouTube community tab. There we go. Facebook, which we had 141.
Jeez.
141 entries. Come on, give me a low number. Right in the middle. Dang. Ooh. All right. So I've got to count through the comments now here on Facebook. And Adam, I'll let you, while I'm doing that, answer a few live questions.
Yeah, definitely.
So in live chat. So
So Patrick there asked if
Yeah.
we'll be getting in the Metal Robot Spirits Barbados Lupus. The answer is yes. We just have to wait and let. That's one of those items that is allocated. So what that means is Bandai says you're allowed to have this many of the kits. This store can have this many, or not kit, figure. This kit can have this many, or this store can have that many. So we're just waiting to find out how many we're allowed to have. And then we put that number up for pre-order on the site. So just watch out for an email. We'll definitely be getting them. So yeah. Master Kshatriya, probably not anytime in the near future. So I think that's a question we're always asked, or at least asked once every other stream. That would be a massive kit, for sure. The Mad Doctor asked about Star Wars kits and Full Metal Panic. I know we're getting a bunch of Star Wars kits brought back in during that our shipments that we're have here in the next 2 to 4 weeks. As far as new Star Wars kits, I know me and Zach actually were talking about that before the stream. And they're not really making that many new ones, and not really sure why. So that's something that I'll be asking Bandai about.
Star Wars kits you're talking about?
Yeah, Star Wars kits, because it'd be cool to have a Razor Crest from the Mandalorian. I know there's other model companies that are making those, so but I haven't heard anything with Bandai making anything new for Star Wars. Abe asked about, Adam, are you still listening to Mobile Suit Breakdown? Thank you so much for mentioning it. I have been consuming it and enjoying it. Yeah. I've listened to probably at least one episode a week. I like it a lot. I think it's a really cool podcast. I mean, they go down episode by episode, break down what's going on, or what was going on in the world at that time, what might have contributed to different things that affected that episode, or why certain things were in that episode. So it's a really, really cool mobile suit breakdown of Gundam and each series and each episode, and you get a lot of history too, kind of what's going on in the world and current events that were happening at that time and stuff. So check it out. It's definitely a really, really cool podcast.
I've got the winner.
Yay
for us. Well, it's the next one as soon as I scroll down here underneath West. So sorry, West.
You're so
also
close.
wanted an RG Epion, so I wonder if he's the same person in the chat who was asking about that. But it is number 95.
West.
Oh, also West. I kind of feel bad about someone leaving multiple comments, right? So, but I don't know.
You might have to make a rule in the future, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Since we didn't have any rule about that, and let's see. And it's still totally random. I mean,
yeah.
Even if he left,
So,
and if I saw like a 5, 6, 7 comments in a row, I'd be a little. But
yeah.
All right, fair enough. A lot of great 144 scale kits have been made recently, but why no Epion? Pretty much, yeah. Should we expect HGRG? Yeah, so he's asking about the Epion.
Yeah, I would assume honestly they'll make a high grade version. I mean, they're going through all the different main suits right now for Wing, so I would assume that's closer to a main villain suit. So I would assume that would get a remake.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, an RG, I would say probably not. A new HG though, yeah.
Yeah, HG probably. Yeah, real grade maybe in the far future.
I mean, it would be good just for just to have like to oppose your Wing Gundam, right?
Yeah.
In the RG form, but then we don't have a RG like a TV version of Wing Zero, so maybe they'd have to make that one first.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I do really like that particular design of the Wing Gundam. I would like an RG of the Wing Zero TV version.
Yeah.
But anyway, there you go. That is it. Obviously, a lot of questions we didn't get to as usual today, but as always, guys, just make sure you're following in the YouTube community. You just YouTube. Make sure you're following here, and also the Instagram channel and Facebook have your notifications on or whatever to stay up to date for when the next episode is happening, and then just everything else in between. New kits coming in stock and things like that is posted around social media, so keep the notifications on. Why not?
Definitely. And then Wes, just send us a email to support@usagundamstore.com. If this was Facebook, so just send us a screenshot letting it, showing that you're logged into your Facebook to prove that it's you. And then we'll verify the address and get it shipped out.
Yep. Very cool. All right. Yes. And congrats. It's a big shiny unicorn kit.
Yes.
Nice. All right. But yeah, anything else you wanted to add for today, Adam?
No, just as always, thank you everyone for all your support. Thank you for the orders. It's awesome to be able to bring you guys the kits that you love and figures that you love. And without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So thank you guys very much.
Indeed. Yes. And as always, guys, thanks so much for hanging out and for watching. And again, if you are participating in the clean versus weathered contest, you guys still have over a month still on that. So you still got plenty of time. And if you have not started anything on that, again, you still have over a month. So still have time to start. I'm still getting entry emails for that. So, I mean, people are still starting off now. It's still plenty of time to get a good build in. So check that out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go a couple episodes back here. We talked about it, or I've made a couple of videos over there on my channel about it already as well too. And I should have a new announcement for you guys related to that coming out pretty soon about going over some of the entries after the contest, giving some of our thoughts about some of the entries afterwards to give you guys kind of some feedback on your builds, things like that. So we'll talk about that in the near future. I'll let you guys know what the plan is for that. But for now, as always, guys, thanks for hanging out. Yeah. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.